Let's do Chuck Norris.
Fuck.
That's the suggestion.
That. That's a suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
Hit it.
You're acting like I just gave you like the worst butt of weed.
Sorry, what?
You're acting like I just gave you like the worst, most grainy, dirty butt of weed. Nah, I hit it. Whatever.
Yeah. Yes, that is in fact how I feel.
I got
Correct.
nothing else. Fine.
This is you like what this is this is you like I'm over at your house and
Yeah.
you're like, oh, sorry, I don't have any weed for you. And you kind of look around and then you're like, scrape a bunch of stuff off of like your dirty coffee table where you were grinding up buds earlier.
Yeah.
You're like, no, wait, hold up. And roll that and you're like, here you go. I'm like, I mean, okay, I guess. Sure. Like, I mean, I won't say no, but also, damn.
Dogs, they're coming. They're coming your way. They'll be here soon.
Chuck Norris is Lieutenant Jake Wilder. When it comes to fighting crime, he's not clowning around.
You're under arrest, bozo.
But now, he's about to face the toughest, the most difficult, the most impossible challenge of his life. His new partner.
Her? No. Him. Wait a minute. What makes you think I'm gonna work with a mutt?
So we watched Top Dog this week, which reads exactly like a drill tweet.
Yes. By the way, I'm recording in Audacity. We didn't say that.
No, I didn't start recording it on Audacity.
Oh,
I was
okay.
joking.
Well, I'm recording now.
All right. Recording in Audacity now. Hello.
Also recording in Audacity. Yeah, we watched a drill tweet.
We watched a drill tweet. Top Dog is a drill tweet. How did this
That's
happen?
a good description of this fucking movie.
How did this happen?
This is a baffling movie, and I love it. I still, well, okay. I don't know whether I really despise this movie and what it's done, or whether what this movie has done is so buck wild that it goes back to good. I'm really stuck on it, Boyks. Maybe you can talk me through it.
All right. I have car chase scenes and stunts, people getting shot in the head, white supremacist groups, Chuck Norris action, and kid with cute dog scenes. Someone help me budget my movie. Can you cut out the kid with cute dog scenes? No.
I can't see how to fix this movie. Yeah, like, hey, I'm making a fun family film. We have a cute dog, Chuck Norris, a cute child, and 10,000 scenes of the KKK blowing up buildings.
Holy shit.
Why can't I make this a movie? Why isn't it working?
Someone help. Someone who's better at budgeting, help.
Oh,
fucking Christ.
That's like, this movie. It wildly jumps between fun family zany bullshit and we're the KKK and we're gonna blow up this Coalition for Racial Unity rally.
I was so like dumbfounded the whole film, and there was always something new to be dumbfounded about, to the point where I this movie is wild. It's not boring. There's that.
Yeah. I said that when we were watching it. You're like, man, this sucks. I'm like, yeah, but it's not boring. I'm just like, at least it's fucking going.
It sucks.
It has
in a
no
different
idea
way.
where it's going.
Like, it sucks in a way where it could be a very interesting B-movie schlock nonsense garbage film. Not in a like, holy shit, this is boring. Why are we here type of movie.
Yes,
Yeah.
one problem about it being like the schlock garbage stuff is that, man, it being a bunch of like KKK neo-Nazis in the most literal sense as the villains
Yes.
and stuff is like just depressing.
That on top of all the cop propaganda.
Yes.
Yes. At least
Yes.
Cop Dog didn't have cop propaganda. It just had a ghost.
Yeah, this is super propaganda. It's very...
Uh-huh. So Top Dog gets a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That seems like it should stay there.
I think that's fair, to be
That seems
honest.
extremely fair. And despite that, I enjoyed this movie as a watch
Yes!
more than most movies that we
Yes!
watch. But it still definitely deserves 0%. There's no joking about it. This movie fucking sucks. It just sucks in a very specific way that makes it somewhat interesting to watch.
It's definitely tonal whiplash in the worst possible sense. But then when it gets to the good part of that tonal whiplash, you're like, this is fucking great.
Yes.
So I'm like, I don't know. So anyway, the movie opens up with saying that there's racial hate crimes all over the world.
Yeah.
Especially in California. And we get a white supremacist fucking Aryan Nation speech. And then
over top of the starting credits, where he's... And
yeah.
when we say...
No.
We're not talking about like, oh, we're white supremacists and it's
What
kind
the
of
fuck?
like just vague bullshit. It's like, we're gonna blow up all the minorities. They're gonna genocide us, so we're gonna make sure that we sanitize everybody, and like they fucking go for it. It's
like
extremely graphic and disturbing in the way that it's very on the nose about like.
Yes, it's too real to be movie villain nonsense. That's the problem.
It's too real for it. I mean, okay.
It's both too real and too absurd at the same time.
It's too real for a movie that this is. Like, if it was meant to be a rated... This feels like... I don't know how many people listening to this know about, like, say, 80s and 90s, like, action movies, Charles Bronson and Chuck Norris kind of stuff.
Death Wish, blam blam.
Yeah, exactly. This is 100% like a Death Wish. This opening belongs in a Death Wish movie. And they start with that, and then the next scene is a small child with dog and grandpa, and it's like, oh, can we please give Reno a jelly donut? He's such a good boy. And it's like, like, funny family movie.
And then we cut back to two white supremacists, neo-Nazis in cop uniforms jumping out of a minority, like, project building that fucking blows up. What the shit?
Yup.
There's like cute dog moment, and then Nazis kill everyone.
And that's this whole movie, is that it just like one scene leads into the other. Like later on, I wrote a note for oh god, when the villains pull out their James Bond styles like executive desk in their dock warehouse.
Yes, no, that's real. No, that is not. I need to take a step. That is not a fucking joke.
It's not a joke. Mr. Bond, we have gathered all of the racists in America together to kill you. It very much feels like that.
No, there's a guy in a hood. There's a fucking skinhead. There's like a guy with tattoos. Paul Rudd is there for some reason.
Paul Rudd. All the white supremacist groups.
I don't know why Ant-Man is there, but they tried. Fucking. But yeah.
Anyways. In that scene, he's doing his big speech, and he even says, "We will sanitize the nation," and like it cuts directly from that into the dog rolling on its belly and like getting pets from people, and the like with like zany circus kind of music over it, and I'm like, I can't get there this fast, movie. You've gotta slow the fuck down.
Like.
Hold the hizzle up!
You can't go from, like, white race hate speech directly...
They did literal, like, Hitler salutes at the end of that speech!
You can't go from that to cute dog. You just can't. You
Well,
can't
and, like,
fucking
not
do
zany,
that
fun,
movie.
cute dog film. Like, it just...
No.
Because, like, it is played... This is... Okay, what genre of movie is this, Boyks? Let's play a game. Is this an action movie? Is this a comedy?
This is an R movie that got bumped down to PG-13 and then marketed as a family film.
Yeah.
That's the genre.
That's probably accurate. Anyways,
Oh
the beginning of
my
the
God.
movie, when they feed that dog a donut, like when the kid asks, like,
Yep.
Grandpa, can we give this dog a jelly roll? He kind of goes, I guess. And they give that dog a whole fucking jelly donut. So this movie's pretty good. That's my review. You get to see a dog eat a whole jelly donut, and it rules.
Reno eats that whole fucking donut, and it's great.
Reno gets a whole goddamn donut.
So Lou is an old cop / detective who has his dog Reno, and they drive up to this bombed building.
Yeah, right after that,
and they're like, "Whoa, this building's still on fire. There's a baby inside still, sir." "Oh, I'm an old man. I'll get it."
I forgot about this. He's okay. So there's like this old, like he's like 60 years old.
Yes.
Like, listen, I don't want to shame the guy, but he's not in great shape, and he's kind of like just penguin walking into this burning building. Like he's like just kind of like doddering in as all these firefighters in full gear are like screaming and yelling and crying, like, "Oh God, it's too dangerous in there." This like old guy is just like, "Let me magoo my way through. It's fun."
Right. Fucking Columbo over here.
I thought he
like,
would fucking die in that fire, actually. I thought that's what they were going to go for.
This is like ancient in a like nursing home Columbo over here. Like, it's not. You should not be in this line of work still, sir.
There's fucking Matlock going through this burning building.
Jesus. So he like starts to pass out.
Yeah.
As expected. And Reno runs in instead, and then both gets the baby, changes its diaper, wraps it in a towel and a blanket, and then carries it out, safe and sound. Which, great.
Sure, whatever.
And they notice the two police officer, like off-duty cop guys that were there when the building exploded, start to leave, and Lou's like, I bet they're involved somehow, and then tracks them to their secret base
boat
at the dock.
Hideout. Their boat hideout. Yeah. I love that Lou sees two guys at the scene of the bombing and goes, those guys match the description exactly. Should we arrest them? Nah, I'm gonna follow them when it's night and I'm all alone.
What a fucking moron.
I've got to find a way to exit this film.
Yeah, so he drives over there at night all alone to an obvious trap. Walks into their explosion / stolen goods room, which is the first door he wandered into.
Yeah.
And then
finds like a whole bunch of C4 and like heavy armaments. And then the guys come into the door behind him with guns drawn on him.
Yeah, like,
and he goes, "Whoa, hold up! I'm a cop!" And it's like, they have C4 and gun. Lou.
No.
Lou.
The specific line is, "I'm a cop, see? I don't care." Yeah. Blam, blam.
Yes.
Just fucking shoots him. And then they shoot the dog.
Of course they shoot him.
Didn't like that part. And then they dump them both in the river.
Yeah. But Reno lives.
No, it immediately cuts from them dumped in the river being shot to like funny Chuck Norris moment. Yep. Hard cut.
Yes. We've got to stop saying that because that is literally every scene of this movie. This movie goes every time that we talk about a big action scene where like people are being horribly murdered or like injured or maimed and tortured and all this shit. The very next scene is going to be a funny dog scene. Every fucking time.
Every time.
That's just how this movie works. That's exactly what this movie is.
So they call Chuck Norris in to the station, who has been removed from his office as a police officer because he never follows the law and does shit on his own.
He's a loose cannon.
But they call him back in because I don't know why, actually.
There is literally no reason to call him in. There's
No.
none reasons.
And of course they sign him up with Reno, who's the top dog.
Which, okay, I actually really love this scene though, because it's so fucking dumb. I mean, again, so much of this movie is. But the reason why do they put them together, Boyks? Do you remember? I
don't actually remember.
Okay, so the like captain or chief or whatever calls them in, and he goes, he's chuckling and like laughing to himself, and Chuck Norris is like, well, what the fuck? Like, what's going on? And he's like, 4 citations for bravery. You've both been shot 5 times. You've both been written up 3 times for insubordination and suspended from work. And he's like reading off this rap sheet of all the things that they've done. And then he's like, you'll be perfect together. And it's like, oh, like a woman? And then it's, no, that's the handler for the dog, your new partner.
Oh, it's because they're both loose cannons.
It's because they're both loose cannons and have the same rap sheet. They have exactly the same number of arrests.
That's actually
exactly the same number of like insubordination attempts. They both have the same medals for bravery. It's fucking garbage. It's so dumb. I love it. It's so stupid. It's just great.
So they show off Reno to Chuck. Because Chuck is like, I'm not gonna go with a fucking dog. Which, that's his acting. I didn't...
Well, and Chuck Norris, actually, before that he goes, I ain't gonna work with a woman. What makes you think I work with a dog? Just to prove that he's a real piece of shit.
Well, he says, I'm not gonna work with a man, a woman, or a dog. So he's not specifically...
Oh, I thought that he said, I'm not gonna work with a woman.
He said man, woman, or dog.
I thought that it was just woman. Okay, fair enough.
But point being...
Man, they made Chuck more likable than he is in real life. What the fuck?
Yeah, point being is he doesn't believe the dog is worth his time. So they bring Reno to like a canine training school thing. And they have a guy in like one of those plush suits, I guess.
Yeah, like the dog training suits where a dog can rip at you
and he runs into a building and Reno runs after him and like throws him into the wall, fucking hangs him upside down from the ceiling, throws him out the fucking window.
Yeah, they have like a zany like slapstick comedy scene of this guy getting shit kicked by this dog for a good 2 minutes.
And then
Chuck Norris sits outside and just laughs at it.
Yeah, and then Reno comes out the front door with a giant brick of dope that says dope on it. And it's the best because we're like, dope. That was great.
I want to take an aside that Reno's the fucking best dog. Reno rules.
Reno's so good.
They have a scene before this too when he was like, I ain't working with that mutt. Just look at him. He looks like garbage. And the dog like shakes his head at that time and his hair just goes like all over the fucking place. Like just poops out. Yeah. He's just like this really mangy mutt looking dog, but he's super well trained and really lovable. I really like Reno.
Yep. So Chuck takes Reno and follows some clues that were left from Lou's dead body, because Lou wrote something down in his notebook to say, hey, I followed these 2 idiots to the dock, but I didn't tell anyone.
Yeah.
Fucking moron.
Well, part of this, I kept on thinking when this happened, I'm like, wait, they dumped they dumped Lou in the river, right?
Wouldn't it be like washed out?
How could it be legible? Yeah.
Okay,
I'm glad that
whatever. I stopped caring.
Yeah.
So he goes to the dock and goes into like the office of the bad guys and like, hey, how's it going? I'm a cop. Hey, let me look at your logbook. Do you have a warrant? Give me the fucking book. And it just rips out a page and leaves.
Yo. Because a loose cannon. Okay. That's the one accurate thing about police work in this, is that they do not give a flying fuck about the law.
No, but also Reno doesn't give a flying fuck about Chuck Norris, because all he does is shit on him this whole movie.
Yeah, it rules.
It's so good.
It's really good. That's the best part.
So, because he takes Reno back home after that, after the bad guys are like, we're going to have to kill them because that dog saw us. That dog is an eyewitness.
Yes, they
And
actually
so-
say that multiple times in this movie.
Yeah. So Chuck goes back home and is like setting up dinner. He empties this nasty can of the cheapest, shittiest dog food ever, and then
Well,
pulls out
after
like a
opening
roast
it
chicken.
about 5 different times, though, to be fair.
Oh yeah, because it keeps rotating around the can opener.
He puts it on an like a
Yeah.
electric can opener and like sits there with it for a good like 2.5 minutes as
Yeah.
it just keeps rotating over and over and over, and you're like,
Yep.
Chuck.
And then the phone rings, so he goes and answers the phone, and it's the handler who's like, "Hey, can I come over and see the dog?" Okay. But during that whole time, Reno like sneaks up, pulls the tablecloth, eats the whole chicken, and Chuck
Yep.
turns around. He's like, "Well, what the fuck am I supposed to eat?" And he like pushes forward the shitty dog food and walks away. It's so good.
That's not even a joke. That's literally the scene. It's a great joke. It's a really good moment.
The dog just like, "Hey, fuck
Yeah.
you, Chuck."
That was actually a good scene. I liked it. Reno's a good boy. I want to see Reno just like absolutely owning Chuck Norris for an hour and a half.
Yeah. So the kid who owned the dog, who's the grandson of Lou, who got shot and thrown in the river, shows up at like 10 p.m. He's like, "Hey, can I see my dog?"
Yeah, this 10-year-old kid shows up in the middle of the night.
And then the dog got pets. And then the handler shows up. And then the dog got pets. And then I'll let you explain what happens next because it's fucking weird.
Thank you. I love it. So they were even making a joke about it, which was actually kind of good. That, like you said, that we were expecting the assassins, right, to come and kill them because they said like, "Oh, get geared up and kill that dog and Chuck Norris." And every time, like, he's like, "Oh man, like, is everybody gonna come here tonight?" kind of thing. Like they're making a joke of like this tension.
Yeah.
And then they show up as 4 clowns, like with clown masks, with heavy machine, like they've got like automatic weapons, and they pile out of their car and go to shoot up the house. But like they put circus music over it because they're wearing clown masks, so they just start doing. It's the first slapstick shoot 'em up I've ever seen. The one clown they run to the house to go and shoot it up. The one guy runs and does like a double flip over the hedge. Well, there's like
okay, you're saying it's slapstick, but they're just standing in a row blasting the house like a fucking Sopranos scene. They're clowns.
Get in the house.
What? What?
Yes. Well, clown music
Yes.
plays, and then Reno grabs one of them, tackles them, and like Chuck shoots another one and kills the man. Like shoots him through the heart, blows his fucking heart out, blood splatters everywhere. One of the guys starts running, and the other cop's still in a firefight with that one. And then we cut to Reno on top of the guy that's there, and the other cop comes up and it's like, "All right, if you move, like, Reno's gonna bite the smile off of your face." And then Reno reaches out and touches his clown nose and goes, "Wah, wah." Like they're like making a joke out of it, and it's like, what the fuck is going on?
He booped the assassin.
Like I said, that most scenes in this movie are either really, really weird, like R-rated, like hard-nosed detective action movie from the 80s, like a Lethal Weapon kind of thing, but like more serious even than that. And then all of a sudden, a lot more serious than that. Like it's like a death wish.
Yeah.
And then it jumps over to like slapstick dog comedy. This scene is one of the few that molds them. That just goes, we don't need to cut between these. We'll just do it at the same time.
Like they also have Chuck Norris kung fu fight one of the clown assassins. Sorry. I need to clarify. Not a clown assassin, a clown neo-Nazi assassin.
Yes, because, well, it's almost played a little slapstick again because he's fighting a clown, and they've got this circus music over the whole thing. But then when he knocks him the fuck out, the first thing they do is they zoom in on his fucking swastika tattoo on his hand.
Yeah, and then Chuck says, "You're under arrest, bozo." Oh no, that's a different
Yes!
guy. That's the bozo one's the car
later.
at the end. Yeah, because
Yes.
there's another clown that gets away in a car. Or trying to get away in a car, and then Chuck just shoots his fucking tire out. His whole vehicle flips and blows up, and then he's like, "You're under arrest, bozo."
Well, just a second. Even better than that, the car flips, is upside down, slides towards Chuck Norris, who just stands there, and of course the car, like, slides an inch past him so he can do the cool guy thing.
Yeah.
And then the wrong side of the car is towards him, so he pushes it with his foot, and it just, like, spins perfectly, like,
it rotates
gently at the very slight nudge of Chuck's foot, and then he, like, looks at the guy. Like, it's so unbelievable. That whole scene is... This is easily the best scene in the movie, right?
Oh, it's great. Yeah.
It's so fucking dumb.
So fucking weird. But we cut from that. We cut from that to dog PTSD flashbacks of his owner being shot.
Oh God, right? I forgot they did that because they never talk about it again.
Nope, they sure
They
don't.
suddenly do a serious dog moment where the dog, why did they have the PTSD happen again? I can't remember.
Because the dog is struggling with the trauma of losing his owner / best friend, and he needs to fight through that trauma by the end of the film and not deal with wanting revenge for these.
Oh, I guess they kind of do bring that back, don't they? Yeah,
they do.
But I can't remember what they said that triggered it. They said something and it like triggered the flashback in this dog where it goes black and white and it shows like the guy shooting them in slow motion again and him being like, "Oh no, my master's dead."
But
and
what's
like,
really fucked up about it though is they cut from the PTSD scene to the literal cops opening.
Yes. And it's just a 20-second scene for no reason. You just suddenly hear, "Bad boys, bad boys."
Yeah, I'm like, oh, it's the cop song. They're making a joke. It's just the cop song.
Yeah, it's just the dog sitting there, has turned on the TV in Chuck Norris's house. He comes in and he's like, "Why is there that music?" And he's like brushing his teeth or something, and he comes out and he sees the dog sitting there in front of the TV watching cops. And he goes, shrugs his shoulders, and that's the scene. They just cut away from it. That's the whole scene.
Why, though?
Because they needed that good cops money, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know. Were they advertising for cops, maybe?
Maybe it was an ad in the middle of the movie. It could have been. It makes no sense.
I don't know.
Anyway, we cut to another scene right after that where there's a bunch of cops sitting outside of a building, and they're like, "Hey, we're looking for drugs. Can we borrow your dog for a minute? Like, he's the best on the force. That dog's like fucking some kind of hero, you know?"
Right. I forgot that this scene even exists.
Because they have the drug dog scene. Yeah, so they go in, and Reno's like, "I ain't fucking doing this. Are you kidding me? This is dumb."
Yeah, they have it where Chuck Norris hasn't worked with this dog and has never trained him and has no idea how to use a drug-sniffing dog.
Yep.
So he's sitting there going like, find drug, dog, go, dog, do the thing, dog. And all other cops are laughing at him because Chuck Norris is a fucking idiot.
Yeah. So he tells the cops to leave so that the dog can work. And then Reno leads him to the closet upstairs. So Chuck's like, "Okay, the drugs are in the closet." And out pops a fucking biker. Who just starts kicking his ass. And Reno's like, "Not my goddamn problem. You deal with that shit."
Yeah, Reno just sits to the side. And the cops outside are like, "Oh, wow, they must have found somebody inside." And then they just stand there and keep drinking their coffee and eating donuts and laughing. And it's like,
classic.
Not gonna do it. Okay, sure. We're just gonna watch this, huh?
So Chuck's getting his fucking ass kicked by this biker who was hiding in the closet. And then Chuck finally starts fighting back and kicking him into the wall and kicks him out the window. And Reno takes all the fucking credit.
It rules. Yeah, they're like, wow, Reno must be really beating him up in there. And then the guy flies out the window onto this awning and like it collapses under him and stuff. This movie, by the way, actually has a budget. Like they do some stunts.
Yeah. There's some good stunts in this film. Yeah.
So they then go ahead and Reno like pops his head out of the window and is like, hey guys, I did it. And they're like, wow, what a good boy. And Chuck Norris is like, what the fuck in the background? Really good.
Like anytime that Reno just like shits on Chuck Norris's image in this film, it's the best. It's so good.
So good. Yeah.
So after that hilarious scene, we cut to the white nation congregation of leaders in the power plant and that giant executive table.
Yeah,
Cool.
I was just gonna. Can I take in a quick aside though, and just mention like one of the scenes where they actually had some budget as well was there was a small scene in there of these guys in like a station wagon transporting C4 for the Aryan Nation people.
Yeah, the C4 near the border scene.
Yeah, and the cops stop them and go to search their car, so they start a high-speed chase. And then the cops shoot the car and it fucking blows up and suddenly doesn't have an engine. I just wanted to mention
there's no engine in the engine block, and also C4 doesn't blow up by being shot.
No.
So
C4 is renowned for being a very, very stable explosive where you need a detonator.
That particular scene had no purpose and was also bad.
Yes, but I also love that they blew up a car, and then the minute that the car goes from like high-speed chase to being blown up, it flips in the air, and you can see that it very much has like it's like a skeleton of a car with no engine block. Yeah. That's the kind of thing you can expect from this movie. It rules. They both had a budget and also didn't know what to do with it entirely.
The executive table of awful leaders of white supremacy say that they're going to attack soon, and they have like pictures and places of different like religious locations and whatnot, but we don't know exactly what's going to happen yet. So they cut from that awful, terrible scene to a dog show, to a dog show. They cut to a dog show.
They cut to the funny dog show with the small child leading our dog through it, and it's a slapstick comedy moment because he runs in and steals first place. Woo! But I have to. Oh Lord, get that mud out of here! And they have a huge chase scene. Oh, slapstick dog fun. Right after we will sanitize the nation, and them doing the fucking Hitler salute.
Yeah, I hate it. So
there's two dogs though inside of the dog show in particular.
There are, yes.
Do you remember?
I don't remember their names, but I know that they're adorable.
I wrote them down. We had Sherlock got third place.
That was
which was like this really old Basset Hound.
Yeah. And then there was a bulldog.
They're like, right? And then second place goes to Pookie, and they zoom in on Pookie, and Pookie is the like biggest, fattest, widest, wrinkliest white pug I've ever seen, and it rules. Like bulldog, actually. Sorry, not pug, but flat faced bulldog, like British bulldog kind of thing. It's fucking great. Just like sitting there, just drooling. Pookie's great. I fucking love Pookie.
And then Reno has a fashion moment, and I just want to point out that Reno is a gay icon.
Oh yes! Yeah. Holy shit!
And adorable.
Yeah, they do a dog fashion show with Reno where the kids like giving him glasses and outfits, and there's Reno's in a lot of really, really fabulous outfits. It rules.
Like, I almost feel like this was a shoot the rodeo, but it feels like they set up like actual parts of the scene, like the ribbons and everything. So like it feels like they only did this because it was there, but it also feels like it was written into the film, and I don't know how those two relate. Like
it was written into the film really purposefully, and like in a way that they interact with the whole thing where like the whole dog show runs away. They have like him steal first place ribbon, so that's not really a shoot the rodeo. Like now they made the rodeo, so it's like, why did they? What's the purpose of this scene for the rest of this film?
Doesn't Reno drive away in a car at the end, and then it hard cuts to like the Aryan Nation on the radio.
Yes,
something
Reno.
awful.
Reno's final outfit is like aviator glass, like goggles, and like
He's the Red
like,
Baron Snoopy.
Yeah, like the 1920s like dogfighter outfit, and then or race car driver, and then they have him driving like an old convertible sports car as the kid's laughing maniacally in the background, and it just goes and speeds away, and that's the last part of that scene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then a hard cuts to white supremacy again. Like, there's like 2 seconds between the two.
Yes.
Okay, so Chuck goes home to see his mom because he's a good boy.
No, he isn't. Don't fucking say that.
No,
Chuck
but
Norris
I guess
is not
like
a good boy.
that's what they're implying. Like, there's no reason for him to do this. He's just doing it.
Yeah.
So he shows up with Reno. Reno gets pets. It's adorable.
Mm-hmm.
As they're talking,
I actually had a Reno pet counter, by the way. I counted the number of pets. That was pet number 5, I believe.
So Chuck is planting a tree, and he's talking to his mom about the case, and she's like, "Well, if I was going to do that, I'd do it tomorrow." "Oh, why would you do that, Mom?" "Oh, because that's Hitler's birthday. It's 420, don't you know?"
I know it really well.
"Mom, why do you know so much about Hitler's birthday?"
No,
but then Chuck's like
Chuck Norris's mom.
Yeah,
so.
but then Chuck's like, "Wait a minute, what's happening tomorrow?" "Oh my god! It's the racial unity rally on 420.
No. We know exactly where they're going to be doing it.
But, well, actually, does he know it's the rally? Because he goes to their power plant first.
He doesn't know where it's going to happen.
Okay.
He doesn't actually find that out because he first breaks into their, like, dock warehouse.
Yeah, because it's 4 a.m. on 420.
Yes.
And they're like, "Okay, you have 20 minutes to go in there without a warrant," because we didn't get a warrant, before we come in. Which means at 420 on 420, shit's going down.
Yes.
Okay. So he breaks in without a warrant using a crowbar and bashing a window, which apparently is good police work because he makes a fucking note about it. And then he sneaks into their office, which has an SS helmet that they never mention. Yeah. I don't know why.
Chuck Norris just showed up on set with that and was like, "Oh, here, I have it. We can just use it as dressing." And they're like, "Wait, Chuck, why do you have that?"
Yeah. Chuck's mom knows a lot about Hitler too. This is weird. Yeah, this is weird. So he starts digging around. Reno also is like, "Hey, there's something in that drawer," which has a secret button because Reno's a fucking genius. And pops open and has a bunch of like postcards of different like religious locations and apartment buildings and such that they are going to bomb. And they also notice that the Unity rally is going to be happening, so that is where they're going to attack. Okay, 420.
In the meantime, at the same time, we have the cops outside are like, "It's been 20 minutes. It's 420 on 420. It's go time. Let's hit that bong."
Yeah.
When they go to take a hit from the bong, unfortunately, 2 men with silencers shoot them in the fucking head.
Yes, graphically
in our children's family dog film, I think.
Yes.
I don't know if this is supposed to be that or not. It's really hard to know.
So Chuck is wandering around after finding the clues and trying to leave the building, and all the neo-Nazis come out and surround him in a circle and like, "We're gonna get you, Chuck.
We're gonna have alright, we just shot 2 cops outside with silenced pistols. Time for a fist fight instead with Chuck Norris."
And Paul
now we're gonna start a fight club with Chuck Norris.
And Paul Rudd is there too.
God, okay. We have to really quickly, though, talk about this, because this was disconcerting as fuck. One of the main Aryan Nation people that's in almost all the scenes with the Aryan Nation, he's one of their big leaders, he's like their muscle guy, I guess.
Sure.
Is Paul Rudd. And not like Paul Rudd, not like it's Paul Rudd. It's Paul Rudd with like maybe a Gene Wilder wig. Like he's got like a weird, like longer mullet kind of thing. But it's just Paul Rudd with a weird haircut. It's not like sort of Paul Rudd, to the point where I was scouring the cast list to try and figure out which fucking relative of Paul Rudd this is.
Yeah. So they surround.
It's not, but it fucking feels like it should be. It's real weird. He sounds like Paul Rudd. He's got a smile like Paul Rudd. It's real fucked up to see this Paul Rudd neo-Nazi.
He went microscopic, went into Thanos' ass, and then grew up and exploded fucking Thanos like Paul Rudd. No, so they have a fist fight in a circle, one at a time, with like 40 guys surrounding him. And Reno runs off to go hide the evidence that they need to solve this case. And then Reno comes back and starts stalking all the neo-Nazis one by one like fucking Rambo.
I forgot about this. Yeah. He sets up like a Half-Life 2 physics puzzle to kill the one guy.
There's a seesaw. So there's a seesaw he walks over, which is like a board on a barrel. And then he hides behind some fucking like propane tanks. And the guy starts walking over the seesaw, so he dumps a propane tank from above on it and jettisons the guy into a fucking water tank like 20 feet away.
Yeah, jettisons him overboard. It's
some video game shit.
It rules. And like they keep on showing like the guys like sneaking around the ship with like automatic rifles and stuff, right? Like kind of wandering around the ship in like MP5s and that kind of stuff. And in the background, you'll always see like in the darkness, in the shadows, up in the left,
it's
Reno. He like puts like the black under his eyes. It's all like muddy.
It's like crawling around on all fours under some leaves and shit. Like, holy shit. Right.
In the meantime, one of the things that I love about the Fight Club scene with Chuck Norris is they're one at a time fighting him. And then the two, like, so there's kind of like the two brain, like the brains of the Operation Nazis.
Sure,
And then Paul Rudd is like the muscle leader. Do you know what I mean? Like they kind of have that as their power structure. The two brain guys turn and look at Paul Rudd and they're like, nod to him. He picks up a wrench and just fucking walks up
just
and
hits
cracks
him.
Chuck Norris in the back of the head.
Yeah, once.
Like, what the fuck are you idiots doing? Why are you going at him one at a time? You realize you can just walk behind him and fucking pop him, right? So he just does that.
Dumbasses. So Reno takes out another guy with like a submachine gun. Not Reno with the submachine gun, because Reno is standing next to a comic Looney Tune fucking lever.
Oh, yeah.
And the guy standing over a grate, he's like, aha, I got you now. Pulls the lever, and like the grate buckles a little bit, and like, but it doesn't drop. So the guy is like, aha, fuck you, dog. Oh, you thought I was dropping you from this grate? You fool! I was dropping a comically sized box above you instead.
Yeah.
Yes, it's full of packing peanuts.
Filled with packing peanuts. Yeah, so that it's obviously like there's no bottom to it or whatever, and it's just like him getting hit with packing peanuts. Yup.
And then
drop this big wood crate on him.
Yep, and then they have Chuck tied up because they knocked him out, and they're about to, shoot him in the head. Like, execute him. In our fun comedy Looney Tunes movie.
Yes. Our fun family dog film where they shoot Chuck Norris right in the fucking brain.
Yeah, and Reno unties his hands. Chuck grabs the gun from Paul Rudd, and then knocks him out by kicking him in the balls.
Yes. Kicks him in the balls hard enough to knock him out.
Okay, so the bad guys got away and we're setting up their plot to attack the racial unity rally.
Okay. So at the racial unity rally, a priest, a cardinal, and a rabbi walk into the racial unity rally with a bomb.
Yes! Yes! That's not a joke. That's real. That is real. A priest, a rabbi, and a cardinal.
Yes.
Show up to the racial unity rally.
This movie.
This fucking movie. As Chuck Norris, the handler, and Reno show up. And also the kid is on his way there on his bike for some reason.
I just want to, for a second though, at the show up scene, I wrote a note about because they're like, oh no, we've got to get there as fast as possible. So they all jump in the car, they turn on their cop lights. There's like this huge, like army of cop cars coming with SWAT and all these kinds of things. And they're showing like a big chase, them like jumping over, and not chase, but like them racing to the scene, right? Where they're like jumping these cars over big hills and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And remember, they're trying to stop a bomb from white supremacists at a racial unity rally. So what do? They have the scene of Reno sliding in the back and forth because they're going too fast. And it's like
comedy,
slapstick comedy where he like pulls on his seatbelt and shows it to them. And they're like, oh, sorry, buddy. Gotta strap him in. What the fuck is this movie, dude?
I mean... You're not wrong.
Like, there's so many incongruous stuff like that where it's like, this is not the time for slapstick family dog comedy.
So they show up. Chuck runs up to the stage to like, hey, there's a bomb. You guys gotta leave. And everybody fucking panics, of course. Mm-hmm. And they take the priest, the rabbi, and the cardinal into their limo and close the doors. But what they didn't know is that the limo driver was actually a neo-Nazi who put a bomb in the car and activates it while locking all the doors.
Yes. Also, I take offense to you saying he runs up there and goes, oh my god, there's a bomb, and everybody panics. Because really, he runs up and he goes, everybody, there's a bomb, it's the police. And they go, oh, okay. And everybody kind of, like, briskly walks away.
Yeah, that's true.
There's like no panic here. It's supposed to be panic, but mostly it's people just kind of like, oh, really? Oh, I guess, do we leave then? I guess we leave.
Yeah, so they realize that the bomb has to be in the car and that they've actually made a terrible mistake.
Yes.
And at that same moment, the Nazis are like, well, the jig's up. Let's just fucking go shooting. Let's just blast them. So a bunch of Nazis that were dressed as like workers for the event just pull out guns and start blasting in a big shootout as Chuck gets under the car to go look for the bomb. And I guess Reno goes out to go do some actual fucking police work and take out these fucking Nazis.
Yeah, Reno actually chases down the Nazis and solves the problems.
Yeah, he's like ripping their throat out and like grabbing their guns and like pushing them off of rooftops and shit.
Yup.
This Chuck's under the
We're
car.
Not joking.
That's
fun family dog movie. No. Let's defenestrate a few men.
And then Chuck's underneath the car looking at the shittiest like mess of chips and capacitors and resistors I've ever seen that they called a bomb.
That's not at all soldered in, like you said.
No,
it's just like
somebody
went and grabbed like a piece of plastic that looked like a circuit board and then covered it in super glue and just dipped it in capacitors and chips.
Yes, like there's literally two resistors with two chips bent on top of them at a weird angle. Like it doesn't even make sense.
Like I said, like they put super glue all over it and then just slapped it into like a bunch of random parts, and wherever those things landed was what they had for a chipboard.
So Chuck disarms the bomb and sees the bad guy, who's the leader of the racists, Nazis, white supremacists, KKK, whatever. It's literally all of them in one.
It's literally all of them, yes.
And runs after him. And then we get another scene of the kid still showing up on his bike. He'll be there eventually. Don't worry about it. And
God, they do.
I'm coming.
Almost Monty Python style of Lancelot running over the hill, constantly like getting closer.
Yeah,
they intersplice about 4 or 5 different scenes of this kid. He first overhears on the police scanner that this is going to happen, and this child has been in what 3 scenes in this movie?
Max like, 3 scenes. Yeah.
Why the fuck is this child showing up? And then they keep on showing like shots of him riding his bike towards this scene of the car. Like, he's gonna get there eventually. Here he comes. Oh Lord.
Like, what is he going to do anyways? It's a fucking Nazi shootout at a peace rally with a bomb car. What is this 8-year-old going to do? It doesn't even make sense.
No,
So-
this is not Goonies style
No!
fun action time for a small child to get involved.
So the handler also follows the other leader of the Nazis up the... Oh god, what is it? It's like a famous bell tower in San Diego that's in Citizen Kane.
Yeah.
And she takes him out, knocks him the fuck out. As Chuck follows the other bad guy, and we get another scene of the kid showing up on his bike. I'm coming! I'll help! I'm 8! and Chuck like follows this guy to this like back railing walkway, and they start fighting with gardening equipment.
They have a rake fight.
A rake fight.
They fence with rakes for a while.
And then Chuck almost kills the guy. Reno shows up, teeth bared, angry, ready to kill. And the Nazi's like, oh, it's that dog who watched me kill his partner. He's gonna kill me. He'll kill me,
Please
man.
show me mercy. And
Chuck's
now we
like,
understand why the child showed up.
Yeah, like, because Chuck's like, I can't control that dog. Ha 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 ha, that's a joke, I can. Alright, Reno, don't kill him. I'm gonna fucking kill him.
Yeah.
Okay, Reno. Oh god, he's gonna kill this evil Nazi? I don't give a fuck. Kill him.
Yeah, who cares? Just
Jesus
fucking kill
Christ.
him.
But
Anyways.
the kid finally shows up on his bike. He's like, no, Reno, revenge is not the way. You need to get
We got
past
the
your
ending of
trauma,
Reno's
Reno.
PTSD flashbacks, which is that Reno needs to learn to not take vengeance.
You need to get past your trauma and become the better dog.
Yo, just the fucking film, dude. This fucking film.
The dumbest shit. So they arrest the last Nazi in the movie. The cops get the priest, the rabbi, and the cardinal out of the limo using the jaws of life. And we go back to the racial unity rally. Everything's been resolved. Everybody's a hero. And Reno notices that the cardinal has a red scarf, which Reno likes red scarves.
Yeah, that was a big canon thing
Because it was a big joke that they were setting up the whole movie that he would like eat red scarves and grab them. And he fucking viciously attacks the cardinal, chokes him, knocks him to the ground, steals his scarf, and then runs off while happy music plays.
Credit!
I don't even.
Woo!
What a fucking movie.
I'm still split on whether this movie is one of the worst ones that we've watched or one of the best. It was never boring. This movie was a non-stop thrill ride. Not in the way they wanted it to be.
No.
But it was there. It had a lot of stuff going on.
This movie is baffling in ways that I find entertaining. I'll say
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I'll say that, yeah.
It is fucking so wild. Who looked at this film and said, we have 3/4 of an R-rated Death Wish movie with Charles Bronson. I would love to see Charles Bronson in Death
I would
Note.
see Charles Bronson Death Note. Are you kidding me? Holy
Charles Bronson
shit.
is a Shinigami.
Holy shit, I'd be in. Oh, but, okay, so, like, this movie is really dumb.
Yes.
Yes. It's so dumb that at the police station, when they're talking about the villains and the terrorists, they literally have a whiteboard that just says, like, white supremacist, KKK, Aryan Nation. Like, everything. like, that's their police work. And
Hellbangers. What are the Hellbangers?
I don't know.
I don't...
But at that exact moment, the cops are like, okay, let's get every fucking skinhead we know and bring them into the office to stop this.
And we're cops. We know all the skinheads.
Yeah, that's just everybody that goes to their Thanksgiving dinner. That's not fair.
Round up the family.
It's the dumbest shit. I both love hate this movie at the same time.
This movie is both very funny to watch and that there's a lot of really wild, stupid garbage, and it's just hilarious and obviously intended and not intended sometimes.
Yes.
But then it also is about a bunch of white supremacists and like really horrible shit, and I'm kind of like,
It's like
I don't really need
way
to see
too on
that
the nose
anymore,
about.
honestly, in 2020.
It's way too on the nose about literally today.
Yes.
That's the problem.
Yeah. So it's really hard to recommend to watch this as a fun bad movie because boy, it's sure got a lot of real shit in it.
Let's rate the dogs. Let's
Yes.
go to the dog. Let's go to the dog. So Pookie, we talked about Pookie. That was the very good bulldog. I would rate
Pookie is the best dog in this film. Pookie ain't no cop, and Pookie fucking rules.
I would rate Pookie second place ribbon out of 10.
It's Pookie's got so much personality for being in this movie for 5 seconds.
Yep.
Its name is Pookie, and that's a fucking Pookie dog. If I was gonna draw Pookie, that's Pookie.
Let's rate Sherlock. That was the Basset Hound, I believe.
Yes,
Or
Sherlock is a
Bloodhound.
better
Yeah.
cop dog than Reno, and Reno's a pretty good cop dog.
That's fair.
Sherlock wouldn't have hesitated to kill that neo-Nazi, and that makes Sherlock better.
True. That's true. Sherlock's
got cold-blooded eyes.
Sherlock is at least a third place ribbon out of 10 for me. So let's talk about Reno. Reno likes eating donuts, is some kind of hero. Rambo stalks Nazis in a power plant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gives Chuck Norris dog
Shits on
food, which
Chuck Norris
I'm a
constantly.
big fan of. Yes. That's like Reno's number one quality, is that Reno just fucking hates Chuck Norris and is unafraid
eats
to
red
show
scarves
it.
and takes down cardinals.
I think that
Reno
Reno
is
might
such
be
a
the
good
best
dog.
dog we've ever seen. There's one
Reno,
thing.
yeah,
Reno is
Reno's
not
not,
quite
yeah.
Greta. We still have Greta. I think Greta's still number one. Greta still just loves Satan too much.
I would rate Reno as my second place top dog out of 10.
I also,
that's so
Reno
good.
gets 6 pets in this film. And if I was, so I feel like I'm going to have to maybe give this film a thumbs down on that basis alone, because Reno deserves a lot more pets than 6. Reno is not a 6 out of 10 pet dog. You can't do that. That's top dog. I did not expect this.
Yeah.
I really didn't expect, like, I was expecting dumb family action, like goofy Chuck Norris stuff, where it's I expected it to be entirely slapstick dumb comedy. Like, that's what the cover looks like. That's what the trailers and stuff kind of show to. And
it's more tracks than Rush Hour, which is a very specific reference.
Yes. I was going to say, which is a reference that no one gets but you and me. It's far more towards the spectrum of, like, Death Wish, Rambo, 80s, like, gory, you know, hard-nosed cop show, Chuck Norris action film than it is towards family film. But it has both scenes in it. So it's a really, really odd mishmash. It is hard to parse this fucking film. This film, like, constantly is hitting you over the head because of how hard it whiplashes back and forth. This is maybe the most whiplash I've seen in any of the films that we've watched, which is a lot, because there's been a ton. But
it's a
this
very
film
specific
kind of takes the
whiplash. That's my biggest issue with it.
Yes.
Like, the topic that it is tackling. Yeah,
it's
the topic
just
it is
how
tackling
far the whiplash goes.
So far off the chart that when you get that whiplash, you're like, whoa, hold on. I need a moment.
Yeah. Because like, we want to make sure that we are unequivocal in that they are, like, wearing swastikas, doing a Hitler salute, and saying, we will sanitize the nation, immediately sandwiched between, like, 2 zany dog scenes. Sometimes even in the same scene, like the clown attack scene. You can't mix those. Like, if they were drug dealers or something that's way below this, it would be a bit, like, weird tonal whiplash. That they made them, like, the most vile possible villains on the planet. is it's mind-blowing. I'm still just... It is so hard to parse this movie. I'm going to be thinking about this for a week. This thing just needs time to percolate.
Well, yeah.
Thanks for watching Rough Cuts, everybody. We appreciate it. We're almost at 7,000 downloads, actually, which is really surprising. So thank you all very much for spreading the good news about all of our bad dog movies. There's no end in sight, by the way, because we looked up as part of this. This was kind of marketed as like a bad knockoff of Canine, which was the Jim Belushi cop dog movie. And that one has 2 sequels.
Every time we get a movie, I'm like, okay, cross it off the list. We're done. That movie leads to finding 3 more. So it's not fair.
Yes. Every single time, we have a mountain of these movies. We thought that we would be done with this podcast before this. There can't be 45 worthwhile dog
Not
movies
yet.
to watch.
Ooh,
And hey, there hasn't been, but you know. Not yet. But there's an unending list. It'll never end. So thank you for joining. It's a lot of fun. You can check us out on Twitter at RoughCutsCast. You can also send us your recommendations for bad dog movies, or if you're so inclined, as some people have been in the past, to send us fan art of our dog movies, you can go ahead and send that to roughcutscast@gmail.com, which we also have. All right, and thanks for watching. Thanks for spreading the word. If you review us on like iTunes and stuff, that always really helps. Share us out on Twitter, like I said, is super, super helpful. Any of those kinds of things are great. And we'll be back again
Bunch of Nazi
with
folks.
more bad dog movies.